Welcome, Leo. You've got some surprising breakthroughs in your career coming up in the month of July, as well as some better health and an all over feeling like the universe is giving you a big chunk of personal luck. This is your July of 2024 your sign forecast for the month ahead. We're going to go into great detail about all of the dates you need to pay attention to in this month ahead, as well as the planetary ingresses of Mars, Mercury, and Venus into different signs for you, meaning different action plans for your life. So we're going to talk about the general idea of how this can work for you based on your rising sign, likely more accurate, but you can also listen for your sun sign, which is about career and purpose, maybe about dad and father figures. And you can listen for your moon sign, which is about your mother and mother figures in your life, but also about your own body, your own nest and home life as well. So listen for all three and check it out. So welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Lori Lothian. I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. This is not sidereal astrology. If you're into jewelry, check this out. My girlfriend Milena, I'm visiting her in Portugal, makes a handcrafted ceramic, metal, and fabric jewelry, one-of-a-kind pieces, and a link to her little store to get yours for yourself is in the description box below. These are the demo earrings I'm wearing today because they happen to match my dress. Recording this on June the 18th, early access ad-free for my Patreon community. If you're not a part of my Patreon community, why not? Give it a check out. Lots of perks and lots of meetings with me every month and lots of content you won't find here on YouTube. And the cheapest tier, $5 a month. All right, let's go ahead and talk, Leo, about your story. Well, first of all, you guys, here we are. The summertime is here. It's we're heading into August, which is your solar Leo season. We'll be talking a bit about that sun ingress into Leo later. But one of the things I want to talk about most here is what is Mars up to in your chart. We're going to talk about the movements of the planets before we break down the week by week events to pay attention to. So the first thing is Mars is a planet that moves 6 weeks per sign every 2 years, and he's been moving through since June the 9th, the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus for you is your real estate of your 10th house of career and reputation. And all said and done, it means you may have been very busy driving, like ambitiously working hard to succeed in your career path. But on the other hand, Mars is like, I want to end, sever, and cut and quit. So some of you also may have quit a job, ended a job, severed a job or career path, or been making some changes. Worst case scenario, as Mars has been here June 9th through to when? July 20th, is that you might have conflict, arguments, and aggravation in the workspace. All of that is possible. All of that is coming to a close. However, there is a big breakthrough moment. We're going to jump right there. Breakthrough, breakdown, break free. Let's call it all three. Break free is good of what some job path that does not, suit you or something like that. But all said and done, Mars is going to collide with Uranus on July the 15th, 16th, and he only does this 14th, 15th, 16th. He only does this once every 2 years, but he only does this in Taurus, like in the 1930s and 40s. So he did do this in Taurus, by the way, in July, the end of July, early August of 2022. So there can be an indication here of a desire for some real breaking through some kind of career barrier or change needed. And it could be exciting and exhilarating, or it could be like a little bit turbulent because it does square the Leo first house or your sun and moon. So while there is change and sudden and maybe erratic and unexpected, breaking free through and breaking free, breaking out of something in the workspace, career space, it's going to work on your behalf in the long run. All transits do always work for our highest good. Now, Mars up here with Uranus can indicate it's a surprising change that you didn't see coming, but it may not be about you. What about if it's the boss who quits his job or the company who goes, bankrupt or something? It's not in your control. So don't take it all so personally. The other thing I want to talk about is that Mars then moves July 21st to September 5th into your 11th house of good spirit. Now, he's quite capable here of having some energy for you to propel you to new solid career gains, but it will require effort and it will require action and it will require decisions. And that career gains can be financial. With lucky Jupiter bonifying him, because Jupiter is in your 11th house through to June of next year, you're lucky when it comes to your career gains. You're lucky when it comes to favors from friends and allies and elder siblings. Your elder sibling is lucky for you. Your friends act like benefactors and allies, and some of your cherished dreams, wishes, and hopes may come true in this next year. fairy godfather Saturn in the house of his joy in your 11th is wonderful for you. And when Mars enters here, where he could usually cause havoc, like, let's break up with my friends. My friends are breaking up with me. I'm done with this crew. I don't want to belong to this group of belonging anymore. Well, that's all very possible. With Jupiter here, he's mitigating or calming down what could be more intensity from Mars and Malefic in your 11th house. Not to mention, Mars is also going to flow to the Leo qualities of your sun, moon, or rising. So you're going to enjoy the kinds of changes of direction, new action plans, new decisions that are being made that impact you positively vis-a-vis elder sibling, friends as allies and benefactors, and to some degree, perhaps even people that are in larger social groups of belonging. Jupiter's like a movement maker in your 11th house, and you may get very excited and passionate about being in a movement of some kind because of this, joining a social movement or something like that. So don't forget, Mars in your 11th house will be July the 21st all the way through onto September the 5th. What about Venus, the benefic planet, just as positive as Jupiter in her own very sensual and feminine way? Well, when you start the month, she's traveling through the sign of Cancer, where she's been since June the 16th. That's your 12th house, and it might have felt very subtle. The only thing I can say about that is it could have increased your desires to enjoy bed pleasures, private time home alone. It may have got you working on creative projects behind the scenes. It may have had you investigate pleasurable journeys to far off countries or even take them. And she's leaving that Cancer part of your sky anyway on July 16th. July the 11th. And then she's moving into the sign of Leo. Now, this is your health glow up that I mentioned in the intro. Anytime a benefic planet moves through the house of our body, which is the ascendant sign of Leo, or if it's the moon, that's your body as well. Or if it's your sun, it's about your career, for example. This means that you're going to get a glow up here. Venus in the first house is you are beautiful, healthy, well, lucky, persuasive, charming, congenial. People like you, you like you. And it's often good for a new wardrobe, a new haircut, an overhaul in your appearance. But it's also good for charm and persuasion. So when you want something and you're going to ask for it to get it, this is your time. So, it's time for those, charm offensives to really work for you in any which way you need or want them to work. And with Mars in your 10th, maybe it's because you need to charm the boss or you need to quit your job and find another one. Whatever it is, you've got a lot of beautiful charm for you to get what you want. July 12th to August the 5th. Mercury will be joining her. Mercury enters into your first house as well in the month of July. On the beginning of the month, the first 2 days, until about July 2nd, he's finishing up his tour of duty in your subtle 12th house of bed pleasures and secret backroom deals and negotiations and things you're doing in the down low dream world and your secret private life. But then he will move on the 3rd, 4th of July, kind of depends on your time zone, into Leo. And Leo is your first house. Now, don't forget, Venus will be here later on July 12th. So there's going to be this kind of nice overlap between July 12th, okay, and between July 26th, when you have both Mercury and Venus together in your first house. That is your ideal time for job applications, ideal time to persuade your spouse of something you need or want, ideal time to charm the boss, ideal time to negotiate your desires into being. Okay, those ideal time zone energies, July 12th to the 26th, with both Venus and Mercury in the first house or near your sun and moon. Also, Mercury will be in the house of you. As I mentioned already, the date was July the 3rd, but he'll be there until July 26th. So you have a lot of mercurial qualities. Now, Mercury is in his joy in the first house, and he's giving you some of his assets. You're a good communicator. You have a lot of great ideas. You're good with marketing and selling. You're good with merchandising. Right now, you have a kind of salesman, admin, Madison Avenue madmen ad exec energy going through your sky with both Venus and Mercury in the house of you. So when Mercury's here just by himself, even, it's an asset for you in that regard. And you can communicate effectively in ways that are very powerful to other people and other situations in your life between the dates of July 3rd to 26th. And then on July 27th through to about August 13th, he will be going through the sign of Virgo, his home kingdom. He will then retrograde back into Leo, and we'll be covering that retrograde later in another video. But what happens when Mercury The messenger, the marketer, the mercantile, the guy in terms of commerce and communication moves into your second house of speech and money and assets and possessions. You negotiate. You're communicating. You can negotiate a new job, a new salary. You're able to sell and market and merchandise what you need to sell, market, and merchandise. You may dispense of possessions you no longer want. You may buy something that you actually need, and things will go very well. So keep that in mind with Mercury in the second house. Your golden tongue can charm the masses. Your golden speech can get what you want. But marketing, selling, communicating, and negotiating, especially career and job matters, is very powerfully yes for you. Again, you'll get that vibe the 27th of July through to August the 13th. Now, we're going to talk about the breakdown of the month ahead bit by bit, meaning we're going to go through the chronological order. Now, we do have 2 months. 2 months, 2 moons, obviously. We have a full moon and a new moon every month. The new moon is in Cancer. It's happening on the 5th of July. It's going to be in, or the 4th, depends on your time zone. It's going to be in your 12th house, a new beginning in foreign, far off land, far shores travel, revenue and money made from far off entities and far off shores, and a new moon, a new beginning in your spiritual life as you approach your understanding of spiritual liberation. And over the 6 months that follows that July 5th, new beginning, new moon, you'll discover new beginnings around your soul and your spiritual life. However, also, there's a full moon, a second one, a blue moon. We had one in June in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is your 6th house of work, and there's a fullness, a full light shining, a completion or a fulfillment of something. This can lead to a full light in the house of work, meaning a full job, a new job, a full-time job. It's good for new rental opportunities. It's good for situations with pets, maybe getting a new pet. A full light here is displaying what it needs to be seen around karmic and real life debts. A full moon can unfold 2 weeks after the actual moon on the 21st of July. It is a moon, however, that is anaretic, meaning it's at 29 Capricorn. So it's very intense, it's very powerful, and it's very karmic. So there may be some completions or endings in relationships to karmic people in your life where those relationships have hit a shelf life and it may end. Especially if you feel it's karmic and you got a headache over that relationship. Let's go into the chronology of the month and let's break it down. On July the 1st to the 3rd, benefic Venus will flow in a gorgeous trine to Saturn. She's going to be moving through Cancer. She's still in your 12th house of past lives and secret deals and negotiations and stuff, and she's flowing to Saturn in your 8th house of chunky money. This can look like some significant positive developments to do with money you share with a spouse, money you share with your business partner, if you have a business partner, money you share with significant others, if you share money with other people in your life, or bank loans and mortgages, and secret backroom deals and negotiations that benefit you in some fundamental way. Or you may also be receiving large chunks of money coming in from foreign entities and foreign people. And that could also look very positive, especially from women, because Venus represents females. And while this is happening on July 1st to the 3rd, Mercury is also flowing to Neptune, well, with Venus from your 12th house. Neptune is some dreams come true, some really beautiful outcomes. Now, it could even just be a tax rebate that you didn't expect. Who knows? But there's good money, chunky money, shared resources with a partner, inheritance money stories in that first few days of July. On the 4th of July, we have Mars in a sextile to Saturn. Now, Mars is about that drive, ambition, and decisions, but also exit strategies in the career space. If you're not just driving and working hard, you could be getting ready to quit, or someone in the work is quitting the job or something like that in the career and reputation zone. Now, when Mars is up there, he flows to Saturn, as I said, around July the 4th. You want to give that a day or two on either side, at least 2 or 3 days on either side. And that flow to Saturn enhances, again, the chunky money narrative for you. What kinds of solid gains? Is it a stock gain? Is it a career, a severance package, sign-on bonus, a medical benefits packages? Those kinds of things are really ginning up good shit for you around July the 4th, a couple of days before, a couple of days after. As we move forward, we want to note that on July the 8th, 2 positive things are happening. Venus is surprising you in a positive way. Money and love surprises, perhaps, but Venus in the 12th house of secrets and deals and bed pleasures is got a little surprise up her sleeve from your 10th house of career. And this is definitely more about your reputation and career. Now, I don't know what it is, but you're going to like it. It's going to feel really good, and it will look like a career surprise connected to things that have been going on behind the scenes. Maybe you didn't know your boss was negotiating a salary increase for you. Maybe you didn't know that somebody really liked you in HR and is recommending you for another job or position. Maybe you didn't know you were being headhunted. But whatever this is, it's about career surprises that come offside, like you couldn't see it coming. It's coming from your 12th house. It's really blindsided by a positive career surprise. And the other thing that is happening at the same time around July the 8th, give or take a day or two, is Mercury is flowing from Leo to your Jupiter transit through your 11th house of windfalls, penny from heaven, and great career gains. I need to lock that door. Give me a minute. Or close it so it doesn't slam. Give me a minute. Okay, thanks, guys. I'm recording in Portugal. Did I share these beautiful earrings by my girlfriend Milena? I'm staying with her and her man here in Portugal. And if you're into handcrafted ceramic jewelry, fabric, metal, she does amazing work. It's a one of a kind. She's won awards for her jewelry. If you'd like to get some of her jewelry, check the description link below. So back to the story, Leo. And Leos, you love your bling, right? She's like you. She's a Leo sun. We can go back and talk about what we were doing here. If I remember my train, yes. So Mercury and Jupiter are commercial success often, right? Positive financial commercial success energies, marketing success, financial prosperity. Jupiter is in your great gains from your career. So it's the money you make from your career. It's your ability to have some of your dreams come true in your 11th house. And it's also things to do with favors from elder siblings or positive things from elder sibling and or from friends who treat you like an ally or a benefactor, treat you like a little sibling themselves, want to help you. So Jupiter is the favors and the luck, and Mercury is the negotiations and the convo. And you are the one with the Mercury mouth, right? Mercury's in your sign. You're negotiating, talking, communicating, emailing, texting with some 11th house people and finding a nice little sweet spot in your sky that feels really good in July 10th to the 12th. On the 12th, Venus ends up in a gnarly, angry, oppositional energy to Pluto from your first house of you to Pluto in your house of your audience, marketplace, business partner, and spouse type relationship. Well, it's going to be typical toxic love, betrayal, shame, and abandonment stories happen when you get a Venus Pluto contact. And this is oppositional energy, which is intense. So what's going on is there's some kind of power struggle or some kind of you're pretty strong. I mean, you're entitled. You're the queen. You got Venus in the house of you, and Mercury's there, and you're like, I suffer no fools gladly because I'm the queen. Well, if it's your son, it's a clash with a significant client audience marketplace member. But if it's your rising sign, it could definitely be about your spouse type relationship. And unfortunately, you're not really happy with what's going on. So there's some kind, betrayals and secrets, Pluto, something may be coming out and you are fired up about it. You are on fire. You might be very hot under the collar. It's a one day only kind of thing, but you might feel it a day before and a day after. So it'll pass, but that's around July the 12th. Now, don't forget, you were loving your life July 10th to the 12th with Sun trine. I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Oh, I did. I jumped you to July the 12th. Let's backstep it a bit. Just before this gnarly moment in time happens, just before that happens, Venus trines Neptune, soulmate love, dreams of beautiful things, These are a few of my beautiful things. Venus in the house of bed pleasures, your 12th house, and what you do in your privacy of your downtime, in your boudoir, in your home, in your secret life, is trining Neptune in the 8th house of secrets and including infidelities. I don't know. It's a weird time for you. There's some kind of almost Venusian, dreamy, enchanted, mystical love up around money and love stories on July 10th to the 12th. Well, the sun is also in a flow to Saturn, which is also the sun in the same dreamy place. And everything looks so darn wonderful. And all of a sudden, there's almost like a power struggle reality shift on July the 12th. And I don't know, you're confronting power, Pluto in their 7th house, somebody else. I like your strength, as Venus here is in Leo, and she's quite strong here and fiery. But there is conflict and power and maybe some betrayal and toxic love. It can be money about money, only because shared resources with your spouse was very dreamy and beautifully active in the 2 days before that. And then maybe there's a reality check. your husband or wife said, I'm going to buy a car today, honey. And you go, that's wonderful. Instead of coming back with a convenient Volvo that protects the children and that has a car seat space, they buy a 2-seater BMW. Well, some kind of like, what the hell were you thinking moment for some kind of relational challenge going on here. When again, the big tension moment, you're really feeling it most significantly around the 12th and 13th of July. On July the 14th to the 15th, Mars and Uranus co-joining your 10th house, breakthrough, breakdown, break free in your career. I addressed that in the beginning, reminding you it's coming through the sky. On July 16th to the 18th, we see the sun sextiling Uranus. Well, first of all, Uranus is surprises, and the sun is where the light is shining. And the light is shining at the same time this thing is happening in the 12th house. This is very subtle, subconscious stuff. I mean, I will give you this. The sun in your 12th house is shining a light in where you undo, self-sabotage, and ruin your own life, including addictions. And it's in a sextile to Uranus in your career space. Are you a workaholic? Or is there something about the way you do your career and reputation that's your own worst enemy? You are your own worst enemy. You may have some surprising insights and revelations about your own patterns in work and career and self-sabotage, perhaps around this intersection of Sun Uranus in a positive way, July 16th to the 18th. And any father figure issues and your own psychological mud about that can also be very illuminated at this time. And whatever's going on the 16th, the 18th of July, it may be reminiscent of some events from July the 8th. So go back and connect that dot. That's when Venus was sextiling Uranus from the 12th house. You could have an unexpected opportunity to travel for your career to a far off foreign shore, or unexpectedly be hired by a foreign company, foreign entity, those kinds of things as well. July 16th to the 18th. On July 22nd or so, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Let's back it up. On the 19th, 20th for sure, you're feeling that Mars energy flowing to Neptune. Mars is at the very last degree of the sign of Cancer, flowing to Neptune. Neptune, the god of illusion and delusion, in your 8th house of shared resources with other people, bank loans and mortgages. This is not a bad energy. It flows. Mars is giving you some sort of new direction, clarity, decision-making power, and action-taking ability. You're only pondering because it's coming off that 12th house. It's more like what you're germinating or what you're thinking about doing. And then, so you're pondering some financial decisions of some sort with shared resource monies, including loans and mortgages. And it may have to do with real estate and property as well. And that's going on for you 19, 20 into the 21st of July. But on July 21st, 22nd, 23rd, then we see Mars trining Pluto at 0 degrees, right, of Aquarius in your house of significant other people. So this means that Mars has now moved into, what did I just say to you guys? Who's moving where? My brain. Yeah, Mars is moving into Gemini. So when I was talking about Neptune, I apologize. It was a sextile. Sorry, guys, I just had like COVID. I'm still in the first week of that recovery. So I apologize. I made a couple of glitches on 2 other videos today, and I really can't hear. I don't have the bandwidth on the internet in Europe to do editing on this. So you're going to have to bear with me. Sorry. But Mars Neptune positivity was a sextile July 19th, 20th, and 21st. Long story short, career and money matters are coming into focus for you 19th, 20th, 21st, especially regarding banks, mortgages, loans, taxes. All right. Then we move into Mars moving into Gemini. That's going to be more like the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And as he does that, he trines Pluto in the significant others house. Well, because the 11th house is a house of great gains from your career, because it involves allies and benefactors and hopes and dreams and wishes coming true, and Jupiter is up there making everything extra lucky, it's some kind of lucky either legal deal, negotiation, or contract, vow or agreement, handshake, 7th house matters, with a powerful person or wealthy person, Pluto, that benefits you in the career arena. So it can be an agreement for a new job that's going to have a greater salary range. It could be a benefit of some sort of windfall and a legal contract around it. Some sort of benefit agreement with an elder sibling that really strengthens your finances, but it also connects to matters to do with your marriage. And, maybe it's just financial breakthroughs that are really good for your spouse as well. It may be more about what your spouse is getting financially as well, not just you. So all of those are possible and true, but it's a very powerful energy that you're only going to get in one other time between now and 2044. I'll have to do a whole separate video on this because it's too big to ignore. Pluto and Jupiter are a wealth energy and a power energy together, a success energy. So if you open up a door for success here, and you will, 21st, 22nd, 23rd of July, it's rare. It's a rare success story. You want to really look forward to it. And then last, because Mars is moving at the same pace as the sun, which is somewhat rare, it looks like from the 24th to the 28th, they track together in a sextile relationship of luck and flow. Mars is in Gemini, and Gemini happens to be your 11th house of good spirit, bona fide by Jupiter's transit through there till next June. This means Mars cannot cause harm, and he is flowing to the sun. Praise the Lord in the house of you. The light is shining in you, as you, by you, through your career, your moon, your home, and your ascendant, everything about your life. You are all solared up. You are solar energy. You got a lot of action. You got Venus there, Mercury there, now the sun, and you're brightly shining, and something good is trying to happen in windfalls, pennies from heaven, financial gain from an elder sibling, lucky breaks from friends as benefactors and allies, the actualization of some of your dreams and wishes and hopes, landing the dream job with the dream salary with the dream people. All of this is your story to enjoy July 24th to even the 29th. It'll even glow into, when I say the 24th to the 28th, give it all the way through to the end of the month. Enjoy the ride, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Don't forget, my Sky Reader class is starting in September. You want to jump aboard to be your own astrologer and time your best life. This class focuses on the intermediate, advanced beginner to early intermediate level of learning, how to read your chart, the basics of astrology, and divine timing tools and techniques, many of them ancient, not used by modern astrologers. It's enough of an intro to get you wet your whistle for the love of astrology, to kind of be your own weatherman of your life. And also, you might consider checking out my Patreon community, up to 4 meetings with me by Zoom every month, depends on your tier. Early access ad-free content, like they get this on June the 18th or so. If that interests you, give me a try. You can have my Chiron, the Key to Purpose, and my Synastry Relationship course for free as a new member. And if you leave even after a month, it's easy to unsubscribe. $5, big deal. It's a no-brainer, guys. The 2 courses are $44. I'm saying join for $5 for the trial run month, and then leave, and you get access to those courses as well. So a lot of people come and go, a lot of people stay. It's really up to you, but it's my more intimate space. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Don't forget, when you hit that like button, it does help me as a producer of content. It makes a big difference in the algorithm, even more so if you subscribe, and I would really appreciate you giving me a try. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care and enjoy your month of July.